Namaskar, respected Guruji, beloved teachers, dear parents and guests, and my dearest SAIoneers. Today, as we gather under this roof that our father, Dr. Bijaya Kumar Sahoo, built with his dreams, as we sit here in an institution that Papa called his first home, we would request you to please close your eyes just for a moment and feel his presence. He's here in the walls that echo with laughter, in the corridors where dreams take flight, in every heart that beats with the values he instilled.
My sister and I stand before you today not just as his children, but as witnesses to a life that was nothing short of a divine miracle. Papa often said that there are two principles from Shirdi Sai Baba that guided his life, Shraddha and Saburi. These two principles were so important to Papa that they are ingrained in the gates of SAI International, so that every time a student, a parent, or a teacher walks in, they realize the values with which SAI International have been built. Shraddha means faith and Saburi, patience. Today we don't want to talk about his achievements. You already know them. We want to share three stories, three divine moments that will show you how Baba's and Guruji's hand guided Papa's every step, how faith moved mountains in his life, and how patience transformed impossible dreams into this beautiful reality we call SAI International.
The year was 1997. Papa was already a well-established chartered accountant. But inside him, a voice kept asking, is this my true passion? Am I meant to do something else? And once Papa heard that inner voice, he could never unhear it. With faith in his heart and fire in his vision, he found a piece of land in 1997. This very land that we're sitting on today, where he dreamed of building a school that would be unlike anything Odisha had ever seen. He discussed this idea with revered Guruji, Sri Chandrabhanu Satpathy, and requested him to perform Bhumi Puja right here. He visualized classrooms, laughter, morning assemblies, the children's smiles. He planned everything from curriculums to staff headcount. But life, as Baba teaches, often has its own way of testing patience. Soon after the puja, due to circumstances beyond his control, that land was taken away. His dream, the dream that he felt so clearly, disappeared in front of him. Most would have broken down and even questioned God. But somehow Papa didn't. Because Guruji told him, Vijay, if Baba has shown you this dream, he also has chosen the right timing.
For 10 long years, Papa waited, silently and steadily, continuing to learn to travel from the best schools across the world, preparing himself for the moment that Baba would say, this is the time and the time has come. And then, as if destiny always had it in plan, this exact same land came back to him. Not a different plot, not a compromised location. The very same land where he had once done Bhumi Puja with Guruji returned to him after 10 full years. This is not coincidence. This is not luck. This is grit blessed with divine grace. And on that very land, the land that Baba himself returned, stands SAI International today, the home and family we are all part of. So when you walk these corridors, when you say you're a SAIoneer, when you sit here today in this hall, remember that you're sitting on a dream which is protected by faith and built with patience. This institution is not brick and cement. It is prayer and perseverance. It is Shraddha and Saburi.
Second, Papa practiced Shraddha and Saburi not only while building institutions, but in the way he built us, his children. For Papa, faith was not just devotion to Baba, but faith in human souls, the people he loved. As his first child, I always knew how deeply he loved me. Ours was a bond that words could never fully capture. One made of the tightest hugs, the long evening drives on his bike where I would gently fall asleep on his shoulder, and even the comfort of knowing that nothing could ever go wrong with me because he's always going to be there. He was immensely proud of me, but even more protective. When I left home at 18 for my undergrad, it was so hard for him that every day after work, he would just walk into my room and sit there quietly for several minutes. But when I told him years later that I wanted to go to the US to pursue my master's, that moment was even more harder. I still remember that day, that one phone call, where I told him my plans. His voice trembled. There was a very long pause. And in that pause, I could feel his tears. For someone who had always been my strength, it was the first time I felt how much he would miss me. But even in that moment of heartbreak, he showed nothing but faith in me. He said, "Sheil, if this is your dream, you should just go chase it. Don't ever hold yourself back thinking of me or about home. Wherever you go, I'm always going to be there for you. I know you will make me proud because you always do." He didn't try to stop me. He didn't tell me how hard it would be for him. He just gave me his blessing, and with it a lot of strength to go explore the world. That faith stayed with me every single day I've spent abroad and still stays with me today. In moments of joy, in moments of doubt, and in moments where I feel very lonely, I would think back to that one phone call and hear his voice telling me, "Have faith in yourself. Trust Baba. I believe in you even before you believe in yourself." He just didn't give me confidence. He showed me that I already had it. That faith not only shaped the next few years, but it has made me the person I am today.
When Vikram, my twin brother, and I were in class 12th, and a lot of teachers know this, we just had one dream, which is to go and study at Sri Ram College of Commerce. It was a dream that felt very, very far away, a dream that thousands fight for. And of course, we studied hard, we pushed, we worked, we sacrificed. But very, very often, doubt would come in. We would often think that maybe we just aren't enough to go to this institution. And in those moments, Papa never said, "Work harder, try harder, you need to put in more." I very vividly remember what he would always say. And he said that same thing multiple times through that year. He said, "Shrey and Sanat," and that's what he would call us at home. "I have so much confidence in the both of you that if you cannot do it, then I don't know who else in the world will. No one deserves this more than the two of you." And it was that faith in us that made us believe in ourselves. Faith offered so fully that it became a mirror through which we could actually finally see the strength that we had. When 12th board results came out, my brother and I scored the same marks and walked through the gates of SRCC together. But even today, one of the biggest things that I miss about Papa was his faith in us. I wish he was still here to say those same words as now we navigate through life. But today I just look at his picture and imagine him saying this to me. And that oftentimes is just enough.
This last story is not an easy one to tell, but it is the most important one. Because it shows how divinely guided his journey was. 3rd June 2021 changed our lives forever in ways that we had never imagined. That morning, our mother prepared to offer rotis to the crows, as she did every morning. And that day, we decided to join her. Strangely, no crows came to the terrace that day. So we thought perhaps we could feed the dogs on the street instead. When we offered the rotis to the dogs, they didn't eat them either. We were very disheartened. We were ready to go back home with untouched rotis when a random stranger who was perhaps watching us afar came up to us and said, "There is a temple nearby, couple of blocks away. There are cows there. Why don't you go try feeding them?"
We followed the stranger's directions and went to the temple. And as we entered, we realized it was a Shirdi Sai Baba temple. Right as we finished feeding the cows, Madhyan Arti started playing. We went to Baba heads down in prayer, and while we stood in front of Baba listening to his Arti, our phones were on silent. When the Arti ended and we came out, we saw 5 missed calls from Deepak uncle. We knew something was wrong. We rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. Papa was no more. He passed away exactly when we were in Baba's temple, praying to Baba during his Arti and offering food to cows, one of the most sacred acts in Hindu tradition. It was as if Baba himself had come to receive him. This was not coincidence. This was grace. This was Shraddha and Saburi returning to the devotee who lived them. And as our mother called Guruji that day, right after we lost Papa, Guruji said, "Bijaya has returned to Baba."
The 3rd of June was and will probably always be the most devastating days of our lives. But that day we learned that Baba was here to protect us. It was Baba's way of telling us that he is with us and we don't have to worry. So what does Papa ask of us today? Not tears, not sorrows, not silence. He asks us to live the way he lived his life. Believe even when others doubt. Keep faith even when the path seems unclear. Be patient even when results take time. Love without condition and serve without expectation.
Papa taught us that legacy is not what you leave behind. Legacy is what you leave within others. Papa did not just build schools, he built human beings. He built hope. But his story does not end here. His story is living through us. Through every teacher at SAI who loves to teach. Through every student who dares to dream. And through every life that has ever been and will ever be touched by SAI. Namaskar.